Hey guys, it's Katie from Just Playing Around. Seeing as it's Easter this weekend, I thought I'd show you all how to make this little basket with some freckled eggs. First, start with a small ball of clay. This is going to be for the base of the basket. Roll it into a ball and then flatten it out with your fingers. Next, you'll need to flatten it out a little bit more using an acrylic roller and your work surface. Now take a larger amount of clay and start to roll it out with your hands. Then you're going to roll it out long and thin. This is going to be for around the edging of the basket. Before rolling it out any thinner, you want to cut it into two, making two halves. Then continue to roll each one out thinner and longer. Also, try rolling these out to the same length and thickness. Length is not such a problem because you can always cut them to match up, but the thickness is definitely a must. Now you can move on to the next part by gently joining two of the ends together and starting to twist the clay around each other. Continue this process until you reach the other end. Because you're working with such a long piece of clay, you'll find that there have been parts that will start to unravel as you're trying to twist the other end. So you can just go back and keep retwisting them, but gently, because you don't want to over twist it to make it too thin. Once you're finished with that part, it's time to add a little bit of bacon bond to the base of the basket. Now take one end of the twisted clay and stick it to the bacon bond and gently start to wrap it around the base of the basket. Adding some more bacon bond each time you overlap the clay. Once you're happy with the height of the basket, you can go ahead and cut any excess clay off. If there's a fair bit left over, make sure to keep it aside to use for the handle of the basket. If you don't have much left, you can just make another bit up, that's okay. To make the handle, measure it up against the basket to make sure you're not going to make it too long. That's important because once you bake it, it can tend to flop to one side, so you don't want it to have too much length on it or too much height. Apply a small amount of bacon bond to each end. Then join it to the inside of the basket. Use a silicone tip tool for this part if you need to. Now this basket is ready to bake. Once it's baked, remember to be really careful with the handle of the basket as it can be super fragile until it's cooled down. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to make these little eggs. First, I'm going to show you how to make the shape of it. Then I'm going to show you how to make the speckled part. For the speckles, I'm using some pre-baked brown clay, which I've already cut up to make it tiny and small. But for this part, because my eggs are quite small, I'm going to have to cut it up a little bit more. Take a small piece of clay and roll it through the cut up brown clay, and then begin to work it through, mixing it all together. Then you can roll it into a ball and shape it into the egg. I decided to use 3 different kinds of pastel colours for my eggs. Feel free to use whatever colours you might like, but I do think the pastels look really cute, especially for Easter colours. Now shape all of them into eggs. And now they're all ready to bake. I decided not to glaze these eggs because I really like the way they came out with a matte finish. However, I have glazed the basket with Fimo gloss. Now it's time to add the eggs to the basket. But first, put a little bit of cotton wool in and use a pair of tweezers just to move it around so it fits in the basket nicely. I decided not to glue these eggs into the basket. I kind of want them just to sit in there freely so I can take them in and out if I would like. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. A thumbs up is always greatly appreciated, and remember to subscribe to my channel for next week's video.